Hello everyone. So today we are going to see a next career, that is project management career, how you can start with it. So let's get started. So okay, this is official pmi.org browser that I am going through. So we are going to talk about CAPM, that is Certified Associate Project Management, that is first level in project management. So this is Certified Associate in Project Management, and this is the exam content outline that we are talking about. This is updated in 2023. So let's see the most important question, what is the domains. So basically the exam is divided into four parts, that is called domain here. Domain 1 is of project management fundamentals and core concept. Almost 36% of the questions will be asked from this. Domain 2 is predictive plan based methodologies. 17% of the questions will be asked from this part. Domain 3 is Agile framework and methodologies, where 20% of the weightage will be there. And the fourth domain is business analytics framework. Almost 27% of the questions will be asked in this. So let's see what is in this. Basically, they have given it how the breakage of the questions will be there. So what are domains? Domain are defined as a high level knowledge areas that is essential to the practice of project management, and tasks are underlying responsibilities of the project team members within each domain area. Third thing is enablers. What are enablers? Illustrative examples of work associated with the task are called enablers. So these are basic terminologies that you should understand. So let's see what are the topics available in domain 1 and how you can prepare for it. So first domain is project management fundamental and core concept. So here you need to demonstrate the task and understanding of various project life cycle and processes. Basically you will be distinguishing between project, program and portfolio, and project and operations, and all other things, that is distinguishing between predictive and adaptive approaches, distinguishing between issues, what are issues, risk and assumptions, constraint, etc. All these things will be dealt with task 1. So second task is demonstrating an understanding of project management planning. Now in this task you will have to understand about how the project is being planned, what is the cost, quality and risk of and schedule of these things, what are various milestones, and number and type of resources in a project, risk register क्या होता है, and stake, what is stakeholder registers, and what is project closure and transition. Means all the things related to project management and planning will be done with task number 2. Task number 3 is about demonstrating an understanding of project role and responsibility. So this means what type of roles and responsibility various project managers or sponsors need to manage. All these things will be dealt with in this task. There will be comparison and contrast of various roles and responsibility of the team and the sponsor, and who will be the various project management players in your projects. What will be the difference between leadership and management and emotional code, and all these things will be dealt with in task number 3. You have to understand about it. Task number 4 is about determining how to follow and execute plan strategies and framework, like how to communicate properly, how to manage the risk. All these things will be dealt with. Task number 5 is demonstrating an understanding of common problem solving tools and techniques. Basically, evaluating the effectiveness of the meeting, that is minutes of meeting you will have to make if you are a project manager, and often this will be done. Then the purpose of the focus group, standing meeting, brainstorming, all these things will be done. So with this, we have completed the domain 1, which is the 36 one, that's the most important part. Now the domain 2, that is that weights almost 17% in the exam, that is predictive plan based methodologies. Now first task will be explaining when it is appropriate to use predictive model or plan based approach, then the agile approach. So what you need to understand in this part is what is predictive, what is plan based approach, and what is virtual, what is co-location, matrix structure, what is matrix structure or hierarchical structure. You have to understand about these topics to clear the exam. Then determining the activities within each process, and examples of each we will be seeing, distinguishing the difference between various project component. The next task will be demonstrating the understanding of the project management plan. Like now in this project management plan, all the things will be done, like how the plan will be made. First, what will be the critical path methods, how to calculate variance, that is cost and schedule variance, what is work breakdown structure, how to make it, what are the work packages, quality management system, integration management system, all these things you need to understand in this task number 2. Then task number 3 comes determining how the document project control to predictive and plan-based methodologies. Now in plan-based projects, the documentation is one of the most important aspects. So you have to identify the artifacts and that are used in predictive or plan-based methods. Then you have to calculate the various variances, that is cost and schedule variances. So with this, your task number domain 2 will be done. Domain 3 is about agile framework. Now from plant based you are moving to agile based methodology, so 20% of the weightage will be there. Nowadays there is more focus on these type of questions on agile framework. So task 1 will be explaining when it is appropriate to use now this approach. So you must understand the difference between plant based and agile methodologies. So you must compare and contrast these two, and about the suitability of which thing to use at which place. You have to understand the organizational process assets and enterprise environment factor and facilitate the use of adaptive approaches. Now task number 2 in this is determining how to plan the project. In this now we will be iterating various processes. So how logical units are made, how iteration is done, then pros and cons of these iterations, how to create the WBS or inputs of the scope. All the things will be done in this task. Task number 3 says about determining how to document the project. Now documentation will be minimum in this agile methodology, but you must know to identify the artifacts that are used in these adaptive projects. Task number 4 talks about explaining the component of the adaptive plan, that is what you will be knowing about Scrum framework, XP, that is extreme programming or scaled agile framework, safe framework, Kanban framework. All these things you have to learn about, or you must have a basic understanding about. Task number 5 is determining how to prepare and execute task management step, that is interpreting success criteria and an adaptive project management task, prioritization of the various tasks you can see. So with this domain 4 is started. Business analysis framework, that is 27%, that is the second most weighted component in the certification exam. So in this you have to understand, you have to demonstrate an understanding of business analysis role and responsibility. About you have to distinguish between various stakeholders roles and outlining the need of various roles and responsibility. You have to differentiate between who are the internal and who are the external roles available. Task number 2 says about determining how to conduct stakeholders communication, how to map the communication, and what are the tools that you can use for presentation and reporting. You have to demonstrate why communication is important for business analysis between various teams, that is features and requirements. Then task number 3 is about determining how to gather the requirement, like how to map the user stories, what is the use case for this project. And you have to identify the requirement gathering approach for a situation, conduct stakeholder interview or surveys or workshop or lesson learned register. You have to explain the requirement of traceability metrics and product backlog also in this task. In the task 4, there will be you have to demonstrate an understanding of product roadmap. So explain the application of product roadmap and determining which component go to which release will be a task 4. Task number 5 is determining how project methodologies influence business analysis process. So you have to determine the role of business analyst in adaptive or predictive plan-based approaches. And now the final is the task 6, that is validating the requirement through product delivery. You have to define the acceptance criteria and determine if the project or product is ready for delivery based on the requirement traceability metrics. So this is all about the content that the project has. Now what is the eligibility criteria for doing this CAPM certification? So you must have a secondary degree and such as like high school diploma or graded general educational development or global equivalent, and then you must have 23 hours of continued education in project management. So with this you can fill up the form. All the details are given in this sheet. So the fees is almost, I think they have given as fee for a rescore is 45 and all these things they have given it here. You can also go to the website of this, where they have almost 150 questions will be asked and the time will be 180. and path to certification is also given here. So you can just go through the pmi.org and you can just go through these details if you want to start your career in project management.